Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Now that my two obligatory informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing, work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this, because this is something I've been covering since day one. And I'll tell you guys a little bit of stuff that you didn't know that happened behind the scenes with me getting involved in some of this. But apparently, the entire WFN Iron Addicts Miami scandal has gone mainstream, and I'm talking like Forbes, New York Daily, a number of international sites, a WWE website. They're all covering it. They're all covering Johnny Bravo's video. He's now shortened it to John Bravo with Richard Rodriguez, and it's all because of Roman Reigns. Now, when I covered this the other day, remember I said, well, yeah, I don't really know much about him. I just know he's a WWE guy. I haven't followed pro wrestling since I was a kid. I'm 41. I loved pro wrestling as a kid. I was a Hulk Hogan fan, an Ultimate Warrior fan, all that stuff. I like Rowdy Ronnie Piper, who later went on to do a little bit of film work, such as Hell Comes to Frogtown and They Live. Some classics there. Check those out if you haven't seen them, by the way. You'll regret it, because they're definitely B movies, but they're pretty good. So I quit following it as I got older, so I wasn't aware that he was a really, really big deal, that he's almost one of their poster boys, and he's someone the WWE has been really pushing. Well, this becomes a very, very big deal when he's been implicated in a steroid bust, and directly from Richard talking about it. Now, a lot of people were always like, oh, no one's talked to you. What do you mean you know someone inside, or you talk to someone? You always say silly stuff like that. In this case, guys, I'm going to go ahead and be forthright. Because I initially was willing to do a video on this when it first busted, I was contacted directly by Richard Rodriguez. I have spoken with him on the phone. We've communicated in text messages. I have spoken with his lawyer over the phone. His lawyer actually called me at one time to talk about some of this. So yeah, I actually was privy to a little bit of inside information. Not the degree that looks like Johnny Bravo was. I never had that sort of exclusivity. But apparently Richard had reached out to multiple YouTubers, and others who are going to go unnamed for now rejected his offer to discuss it at all. I at least listened. I stepped back and I listened, and I'm like, okay, I don't know if everything you're saying is true, but I know Mike Rashid's a liar. I know Lobliner are liars. I know that is who they are, that they are intrinsically liars and con men. Okay, I know that based upon my own experiences, observations. You guys know I've had business dealings with Lobliner. I'm uncomfortable with the guy. And that's one reason I don't do business with him anymore. There's just some things I don't like. I'm not going to get into the details of that. There are things I don't like, and I chose to walk away from doing any further business with him and pretty much most of the industry. All right, so I was willing to listen, and a lot of what Richard says makes sense. Do I necessarily believe 100% of it? No. But he sure had a different side of the story than they did. And talking to his lawyer kind of said things, chatting with me, that are what my gut instincts and what I was kind of hearing out there seemed to match. So, yeah, I chose to continue to cover it. And I covered all the different players involved, a lot of the stuff involved, their reactions, how they tried to lie about it and, cry on camera, hide behind their wives. All this stuff, I covered all of this. But this was kind of a storm in a teacup, wasn't it? Because it only involved the YouTube fitness world and the bodybuilding world and all that stuff. That's all it involved. But now that we have major entertainers, mainstream, not YouTube, because there are big YouTubers who were involved, yeah. I mean, anytime you have 500,000 or more subscribers, you're a big deal. And we know there are a couple guys like that who are involved. Cali Muscle. Lobliner, I think, is still less than that. He's 300,000 or 400,000. But Mike Rashid, obviously direct involvement. That we all saw, self-admitted public involvement. Cali Muscle is more behind the scenes. But Rashid, Lobliner, all these guys were directly publicly involved, endorsing the company and getting kickbacks to facilitate further transactions for this company. Cali Muscle got paid to do it, got free drugs. But he didn't really do his end of the bargain, so they cut his contract. So you had all this, but it was small. Now it's blown up. All right, I read the article in Forbes that it hit this morning. which is easy enough to find. You just type in Roman Reigns into Google, check everything in the last 24 hours or last week or whenever, based upon when this video is made, and you're going to see all these articles. They're everywhere. But they're equating it as the biggest steroid in sports scandal since Balco Labs. Because we know he had over $10 million in sales, and here we have big name people involved. These are big name people. And you know, here's the thing. We know there's always been a drug issue in WWE. I mean, there's been a drug issue in sports. We all know this. This isn't new to any of us who are inside the strength training world or sports world in any way. This isn't exactly new to any of us. We know how to cheat on drug tests. It's not this secret dark art that everyone makes it out to be. It really isn't. We know how it works. We know the name of the game. So the Balco Labs thing, par for the course. But then we see this happen, and you know, the WWE has worked so hard to clean their image up, and now one of their golden boys has just been implicated in a major $10+ million black market steroid bust that had ties all into YouTube because it had gone public, and it had been a public deal, and it didn't really get picked up by the media. It had been covered all on YouTube. I was one of the people who made the most videos about it. All right, but now it's hit legit mainstream news, and this is a big deal. This is going to be a big deal for the WWE. You know, we're going to have to see what happens. Because again, Richard's going to get out of prison. I already know what his plea bargain is. That's private information. He's not going to be in as long as people think he is. He's not going to be in that long. Not going to be like Musclehead and those clowns who were sentenced, going to get like 20+ years. Because Richard's smarter, has a good lawyer, knew how to play the game. He's going to be out in a reasonable time frame. He's going to be out in a reasonable time frame. But the thing is, he's got stories to tell. He's got stories to tell. And this is going to get picked up because of all these names involved. This is going to get picked up by the media. All right? He's going to be out there. Hell, for all we know, Richard Rodriguez could be sitting in front of a House committee discussing the black market anabolic trade and how it pertains to secret steroids in sports. All right, he's going to be on the map. He is going to be on the map, and this has turned out to as of the last 24 hours, this has turned massive. This has turned massive. It's gone everywhere. And I mean, Johnny's videos being linked everywhere. I looked over it. It's growing thousands and thousands of views in the last day. Because it's being linked by all these news stories. All right, and here's the thing, guys. John Bravo just put himself on the map. All right, we all know he really wanted to be a serious documentary filmmaker. He just got put on the map, guys. He could very well, as a result of this, end up being one of the most famous people in the YouTube fitness industry, even though he's a relative newcomer. Interesting how this is all panned out. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative. I will talk to you guys next time.